Hi guys, my name is Nonema Tigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about the Senzo Meyiwa trial, a case that is built on uncertainty because wow, we keep finding out as the country when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa case. Now let's stop pretending for 1 second. Ne? If the state is still investigating the Senzo Meyiwa murder, then what exactly are these accused doing on trial? Why are they on trial if there is still investigations? Because in any serious criminal justice system, you don't put people in the dock while you are still unsure who the killer is. And that's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to confront when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa matter. Now, the prosecution has repeatedly suggested that investigations are ongoing. Even the police are saying that, which is okay, Linda. Even, sorry, sorry. Even Judge Rata has suggested that many times than we care to count. They even implied that Kelly Kumalo could be a mastermind. But here is the problem now. A criminal trial is not a brainstorming session, most right? So why are they brainstorming with abundance? Why? It is not a theory workshop. So why are they theorizing this entire situation with people's lives? It is not a live investigation, but why are we having a live investigation here in the Senzo Meyiwa case? By the time the state prosecutes, it must already know who committed the crime and how will it prove beyond reasonable doubt. Anything less is reckless. So on this situation, I'm saying that the state is being reckless when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa case. If why, I also don't know. What if the state's own version is on state own version is not something that is supposed to be even happening? What if that is the case? Hmm? So let me ask this also. Let me ask this question plainly, right? What if the state's own investigation later proves that these accused are not the killers? Then what? What's going to happen? What are they supposed to do? Especially Bongani Ntanzi, who lost 6 years now of his life 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 is going to be the seventh year. Hayi bo guys, uNtanzi kudala ebanjiwe. Who? Who? It's going to be the seventh year, guys. Have you realized? Now, this is going to be irreversible injustice for these accused, especially for Rubonganda. In fact, for all of them, it's going to be irreversible injustice, this one. If that happens, then years of these men's lives has been stolen. Their constitutional rights have been violated. The state will have admitted it prostituted without certainty. That is not justice. That is institutional gambling with human lives. Ubongani Ntanzi is not a criminal. Didn't have any case, no history of arrest whatsoever. The others, yes, but wow. Wow. Ubongani does not even have a history of violent crimes of anything whatsoever. Yet he is there. This year, 2026, is going to be the seventh year of him in that situation. Sure. Also, the case dies, perhaps forever. Once a case like this collapses, witnesses lose credibility, evidence becomes contaminated, the public stops trusting the system, and most importantly, the real killers may never be prosecuted. You don't get a second chance after a collapse of this magnitude. Who's going to trust what when it comes to this? Who's going to trust anything comes out of the police after this? And also, you cannot change horses mid-trial. You can't do that. You can't. You can't. The state cannot do this. These are the accused, but we are still checking if someone else did this crime. Isn't that embarrassing? Isn't that embarrassing on its own, guys, for the state? Because if they are saying they are not checking, they are sure, why is Kelly Kumalo not part of the accused? Why is Kelly Kumalo not part of the accused then? That alone, Jay, this thing of these guys being in that trial has violated prosecutorial ethics, what they are doing. The NPA, what the NPA is doing, it has violated prosecutorial ethics, procedural fairness, the accused's right to a fair trial. Courts do not allow backup suspects or floating theories. Why are there floating theories? Why is there case 375 also? If all is well when it comes to case 636, why are those cases there? Why is 375 there? Why is Kelly Kumalo not arrested for case 636? A case must stand on one coherent version or it must fail or fall. What is it? What's going on here? Something is going on here and it is bad, guys. It is bad. And people are busy calling this case a sham. Are they lying? People aren't angry because they love conspiracy theories. People are angry because they see a shifting narrative, selective prosecution, key individuals untouched, and a state that doesn't sound convinced of its own case. A murder trial built on uncertainty is not a trial, it's a performance. And we already saw these are theatrics. We've seen it all the way up. We've seen it as South Africans that this is not a case. These are theatrics. These people are acting for us here. We are in theater. And the hardest truth about it all is that if the state later admits these were not the killers, then history will record that Senzo Meyiwa was failed twice by law. Innocent lives were sacrificed. Justice was theatrical, not real. And that would be the final injustice in a case that already has too many. It is bad what is happening with the Senzo Meyiwa case. Like, Nyanike, if it comes out now, it happens. In fact, it will come, guys. Let me not say if it comes out. When the time comes, when now everything is revealed in the light, and now it is known, Uguti, indeed, these people never killed Senzo. What's going to become of NPA? What's going to become of SEPS? What is this? What are South Africans supposed to trust now when that happens? Yabana, when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa case, it does not need emotions. It needs honesty. It needs honest people who are going to ask honest questions, probe seriously, and find answers. If the state is unsure, it must stop. If it is certain, it must prove it. But now where we are, we've been waiting for them to prove it. They are even failing to do reasonable doubt. They have failed dismally. They have failed dismally. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going to happen, but it does not look good. It seriously does not look good. Everything is just bad. Everything is just bad, guys. If you know what I mean. I don't know about you, but I feel like we are in for a long ride. And this is not going to end here when they say you are not guilty. There's going to be a suing of the state. In fact, these guys need to sue Gininda straight. They need to go for pensions of Zabo Gininda, Muhola, Muhane, those EMPD guys. They need to go for their pensions straight. And also, they need to go for NPA, SEPS, judiciary, all of them. They need to go for them, all of them. Because never, son, what is this? And NPA can't say there's a middle ground. There's no middle ground. It's either these are the guys or not. They need to prove it. The question now is it provable? What's going to happen? Do you understand? So, guys, that's the question that I'm asking in this video. What is going to happen once the state now has no other choice but to admit they were wrong? What's going to happen? Comment below. Do you believe this trial can still deliver justice? Subscribe for unfiltered courtroom analysis. Share the video because silence protects failure. And we need these things to be said, and we need to talk about them up until the time everything is up in the open. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Let's talk comment section. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.